Welcome to Our Darlingtown, the podcast where we explore the heart and soul of Darlington through its local independent businesses. I'm James Carver, alongside my brother Henry, and we're here to shine a spotlight on the vibrant, entrepreneurial spirit of our beloved town. Join us as we sit down with passionate business owners, delve into their stories and uncover the unique contributions they make to our community. Get ready to be inspired by the people who make Darlington truly special.
Nailed it. Well done.
Yeah, I think that was slightly better.
That was epic. Well done. That was very good indeed.
Thanks.
2 weeks ago, we met with Joseph.
Yes.
Loved his story. And he's actually since sent across his PDF, his unpublished book.
The raunchy one.
The raunchy one. I've had a read of a few pages, which was quite interesting.
Excellent.
Yes, yeah.
The pages that his mum didn't read.
Correct. Yeah, the section that she avoided.
Yeah.
But
how raunchy are we? Is it graphic?
Well, he said it had hints of 50 Shades of Grey. And yeah, it certainly has that sort of feel to it. I only read, like I say, just a few lines, and then thought, okay, yeah,
Excellent.
this is one that my wife might enjoy.
Very good, very good.
So yeah, how have you been?
Excellent, thank you. Yeah.
How's your hand?
My hand?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for asking. It's really sore,
It's
actually.
really sore.
No, it's just about healed. Was it a week ago today?
Yeah, after years of basically trying to brainwash Jim to come and do a CrossFit session. He gave in last week, didn't you? I thought it'd be a good idea to come and do a pairs workout.
Yeah, Wednesday morning, 6 a.m. start.
Yep.
Had me climbing up ropes.
Yeah, you did very well.
Yeah, it was very difficult, but you taught me how to climb up, but you didn't really teach me how to come down. So I just sort of kind of let go, and I managed to pull a little bit off my finger and bleed everywhere. But I was extremely brave.
Yeah, you were very, very brave indeed. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then you also had a trip to A&E, I gather.
I did, yeah. Unrelated
to the finger incident.
It was, yeah. There's been some...
Although, tenuously.
There was a finger involved, which I wasn't expecting. Yeah, so don't need to go in there. There were rubber gloves involved. It was, some tingling legs, and I didn't quite expect what was coming my way. So, but all good, yeah. MRI scan.
So many innuendos to actually...
There is, yeah, absolutely. But MRI scan and a slight bulging disc, but nothing major. Maybe I've got to ease off the running for a few weeks, I think is the plan.
Well, having a wife who was also a doctor will help.
Yeah, I think she stitched me up. I think she knew exactly what they were going to do to me when they went in. Yeah, so anyway, that was an experience.
Yeah, you've been out and about the last couple of weeks as well.
We went bowling.
Yeah, we did
Friday night,
that was great fun.
I was absolutely terrible. I think I came second last out of about 12 of us, and I put that down to my tingling legs and my sore finger. So I think we need a rematch when I'm fit and well.
I think so. I think the person that won, Amy, she actually nearly got double your score.
She did.
Well
she had the barriers up as well.
Yeah, but she only hit it once.
Yeah, which
it was just a mind over matter type thing, was it?
Well, I reckon if I had the barriers up, then I wouldn't have gone down the gutter every other ball.
Valid point.
So yeah, where did we go to? Went to Indoor Market, which was good fun, and then a couple of bars, which was good. I tell you where I went on Monday night, Estabulo. I know it's not local; it's a bit of a chain, but in the DL1 development. Have you been there?
I have. Yeah, it's good. You think you're going to go there and try and like eat as much as you possibly can, and then you get full pretty quickly, don't they?
Yeah, you do.
They're quite good at bringing probably the meats that fill you up and aren't actually that expensive first, and then they bring out the nice stuff when you've actually eaten quite a lot.
And it's very, very expensive as well.
Is
so
it?
I'm probably not going to go there.
You're not?
Anytime soon.
No.
But no good. What about you? What have you been up to?
Lot of working. I was working on Saturday. My wife kindly, she did a little trip round town and brought me the nicest donut I think I've ever had from Number 8 Bakehouse on Post House Wines, which is absolutely incredible. I actually halved it with my colleague Billy because it was that big. It was just so dense. It was delicious.
What we're talking?
The salted caramel
nice.
top.
With
absolutely
like a filling, filling in the middle?
Yeah, I think there was a bit of a caramel filling, but because it was so big, the filling, it was just... just go and try it. It was absolutely amazing. And then they can't go to town without visiting Andy, at Andy's Candy. So
yes.
yeah, they got some sort of sherbet dip type things, and
Fantastic.
managed to come in the office and spill it all over my desk and all that sort of stuff.
Excellent.
But yeah, it was great. They had a great time.
Good. I popped in to see Andy this week, actually. My wife's organising the Ingleton Village Fair and the raffle. So I put out a message on the Darlington Independence WhatsApp group to see if anyone...
I saw the response. It was
amazing.
incredible.
I think there's probably about 10 or so people who've put forward either a voucher or a something, which is absolutely awesome. So thank you to everyone who's donated a prize, and we will be around flogging the raffle tickets very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I also went to Stable Hearth, had the world's best pizza. It was absolutely incredible.
Nice.
And
what do you normally, do you have your
highly
favourite?
recommend it. I had the Nell Amelia.
That's what I always have.
Yeah, which is delicious. But yeah, they've got several of their pizzas named after their children. So yeah, it's just quite nice. It's a nice family firm, independent. One restaurant and potentially a future guest as well. So
excellent.
I think I was working on Gemma. I think I've got the green light from them both. So
Good.
yeah, we'll definitely get them on here at some point.
Good. We seem to have lots of guests lined up for future episodes, which is good. Even being pestered by the MP, I hear, Henry.
Well, not pestered. No, we'd absolutely love to have Peter Gibson on. We're just trying to get a suitable time in his diary.
So would we be going
really
for some hard-hitting political questions, or are we going to avoid that?
Like your doppelganger Louis Theroux, you mean?
Yeah,
absolutely. No, we'll probably avoid anything political.
Yeah, I think that's sensible.
Yeah, we're not a political podcast. We're here to big up the town, and I'm sure Peter will be certainly on board to do that. So yeah, that would be great to get his sort of thoughts on the town as well, being a local chap. Yeah. So that's about it from our wrap up this last couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good indeed. Shall we get some guests on? And just like magic, we have some guests. James, over to you.
Absolutely. Today we have the pleasure of hosting two exceptional entrepreneurs whose creative flair and business acumen have left an indelible mark on the world of photography. Joining us are none other than Stan Seaton and Jane Miller, the dynamic duo behind Stan Seaton Photography, located on Duke Street. With a passion for capturing life's most cherished moments, Stan and Jane have transformed their shared vision into a thriving enterprise. Their studio, based on Duke Street, is a sanctuary for artistic expression and reflects their commitment to excellence and customer satisfaction. Through a blend of traditional techniques and innovative approaches, they have mastered the art of storytelling through the lens. From weddings to family portraits, their portfolio speaks volumes about their dedication to craftsmanship and attention to detail. So join us as we delve into the journey of Stan and Jane, experts of visual storytelling and pillars of the Darlington business community.
What an intro.
Is that really us?
Did you write that yourself? Or?
Absolutely, yeah.
Fabulous.
I just did it on the bus on the way here.
Send me your copy of that one.
Put that on the website.
Put that on the gravestone as well, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you very much indeed for coming in.
No problem.
As I said, it's just a nice chilled out chat.
Yeah.
Just to get to know you, really. Get to know what you do, what your business is. Obviously, James
Yeah.
has touched on how amazing you guys are.
I mean, it's not going to fit through the door going out of here.
So if you wouldn't mind just giving us a little bit of an intro regarding who you are and what you do.
Right. My name's Stan Seaton, and I'm an alcoholic. No, I'm a photographer. What do you do?
Take a few photos as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
No, go back to the beginning.
Go back to the beginning.
Yeah,
Where to start?
I'll be specific. Where did it all start?
Where did it all
Stan,
start?
we'll start with you. Where did your love of photography start? Let's go back.
Right, I'll go back to...
So
a
far
lot of people
ago.
expect me to say, I was born with a camera in my hand. No, I had no inclination to do anything like photography. I just wanted to be a professional footballer.
Right.
And that was all I wanted to do,
Yep.
be a professional footballer. And then it came to a realisation on other people's part, not my own, that I wasn't going to be a footballer. And I was over at Middlesbrough at the time in some rough sort of areas. I had no interest in photography at this. This is when I was 17.
Yep.
And the do-gooders decided to get hold of me and said, we'll have to do something with your life, Stanley. You can't just sit at home and be on the dole all day. So they said, what do you want to be? And I said, a footballer. And they said, you can't be a footballer. Forget that. So then they ran through a whole load of jobs. Do you want to work in an office? No. Do you want to work on a building site? No. Do you want to work in a shop? No. Do you want to be a photographer? No. hang on a minute, go back one. And I thought, photographer, that's not hard work, is it? Just like stand there with a little camera. I photograph girls all day. I get paid lots of money. So that's how I started. And they sent me to college, set me up with photography. Didn't have no clue, never held a camera in my life. Fantastic. And I went through everything like that, and I thought, oh, it's not too bad, this. But it was pretty boring to start off with. There was no girls involved. I was thinking, where's the girls like come from? It was photographing inanimate objects. That's why I had to start doing glass. And I thought, I've come into this job wanting to be a fashion photographer, and here I am photographing like glass.
How do you take a picture of glass?
With lights, and you can't get no reflections.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get technical here. You've got to get like black lines. Like say if I was photographing that cup, it was made of glass.
Yeah.
If it was on a black background, I'd have to get perfect like white line all the way like round it.
Right.
Not too heavy on one side and not too disappearing on the other. Right. And opposite on white backgrounds and things like that. And I thought, I got sick to death of it. And I thought, what's this got to do with photography? And the guy who was teaching said, well, if you can learn how to light glass, you'll be able to light anything. Yeah. So, and then it all like clicked in, and all of a sudden I started to light things, and then all the camera gizmos and stuff like that.
So what was your first job in photography?
First job in photography, it was in an actual lab. You know, like the lab sort of like things, working. Again, didn't get my hands on cameras. I was thinking, I want cameras, I want to be photographing like loads of things. So I started off on that, and eventually I started to get into the fashion sort of like things, and I really enjoyed it, but there's no money in it. And then one of these days, somebody phoned up and said to the place where I was working, do you do weddings? And I says, no, but Stan's in, he might want to like do it. And they put me through, and somebody says, do you do wedding photography? And I says, what? I'm a fashion photographer. I don't do weddings. And said, I'll pay you £1,000. I said, right, when is it?
I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be there. So I started it, and I absolutely hated it. I really did. I hated the whole like thing. I didn't have a clue where I was going, nothing. I give them the pictures almost apologetic. They're saying, like, there's your pictures. Show them, let me get out quick. Like, the car's still running. And lo and behold, they absolutely loved them. Yeah. And I was thinking, oh, it's not too bad, this. And then these were the days when people used to buy reprints. So they would pay for your photography. Mm-hmm. Then all the parents would come and buy like lots of albums and prints and frame stuff for the walls. So I got another phone call saying, oh, there's another £1,000 here for you. And I was thinking, what?
That'll do.
So then I thought, right, that's how it went on. And eventually I got better.
Fantastic.
And about 2,500 weddings later, here I am, sat with the beautiful Carver boys.
Here we go. How about yourself, Jane? What was your sort of backstory?
Far more complicated journey than this. Originally, I worked for Barclays, so I worked in finance, which Stan tells everybody.
The naughty bank.
He always calls them. But no, I really enjoyed it. I had a good time there and met lots of people who actually... And many of them.
Can I just rectify one thing about when I say Barclays, the naughty bank? It's because they were always on the news saying they were going to make redundancies here, and the executives were making more money. Not naughty as in like Carry On films. So go on.
Okay, thank you. Yes, so I met lots of lovely people when I worked for Barclays, and many of them we've met since, photographed their weddings or photographed their babies or their grandchildren. So actually, you know, it was a great way of meeting lots of people. But then I left Barclays to have my 2 girls, and for a little while I didn't really work very much. I did a bit of part-time work, and then a friend asked me to go and work for her photography studio, just in the shop, just part-time, so I went and did that.
With lots of promises of company cars and all sorts. Company cars that lasted 1 week.
It wasn't quite what I wanted it to be. But anyway, I met Stan and another couple of people, and we all worked together, and we had a great time and did lots of things. But then that business wasn't going very well, and we realised that there was no future for us there. And Stan was really the brains behind the business and was the creative one. So we
also realised we need to do it by ourselves now.
So we decided that Stan would set up on his own and we would go along and help him. And that's what we did.
I've got no business education whatsoever, I still haven't.
So I learned an awful lot, and obviously having a finance background, that was quite useful.
It's too useful sometimes.
Yes, it's too useful. It's very useful. We got got in touch with Business Link, and they were brilliant and helped us, and we rented a property in Duke Street further down the street, nearer to you guys. We were where Rebecca Wright Hairdressing was, which wasn't really big enough for us, but it was all we could afford at the time, and we set up there, and we were there for 10 years. I started just doing the business side of things, but obviously Stan was taking photos, I was going to weddings and helping him, I was selling the photos after he'd done any shoots. So gradually I started...
It came to a point one day at one wedding where they'd asked for 2 photographers.
Yes.
And we were employing somebody else at the time, but he wasn't available. So Jane says, you're going to have to go and do it.
So I did.
So she went out to go and photograph the lads. So I went through everything with her and everything. And I says, be easy. Just like nice bunch of lads, no problem. So off she toddled and everything.
And there were a nice
and they came,
bunch
and I
of lads.
arrived at the church, and she said, and the lads were saying, I said, was she all right? Oh yeah, she was brilliant, no problems. Yeah, really enjoyed it. We prefer as I come to me. So she gave us so at the end of the day, she gave me the cards, out the camera.
It was horrible to me, absolutely
and I
horrible.
Said, I got the cards, and Jane left this. And I phoned her up and I said, you haven't given us the right cards. But she said, what do you mean? I said, there's nothing on these. I was absolutely, She said, you were joking. I said, no, there's nothing on them. Can you have a look through your camera bag, see if the rest of all the other ones are still in the camera? And I left it, didn't I?
He did, he was so cruel. And the thing was...
Anyway, I'm sitting there, it's a lovely picture.
Like now, he wouldn't get away with it.
No,
but obviously then I hadn't known him for many years, and this was a big thing for me, and I was obviously very worried about it anyway, so having this news was not good. So I did sleep, but...
I left it quite a long time, didn't I? It wasn't a case, oh no, I'm only joking.
Yeah, we do laugh about it now. But anyway.
Yeah, but not at the time.
But the family, the guy who I photographed and his best man, come back to us every year.
Really?
Every other year for photos, and their children are now 13 and 12.
Yeah.
And we see them and we laugh and talk and catch up, and the children are lovely and they think of us as family friends. So that really was... it was a good story anyway, how I got thrown into it, but the fact that the family still come back after all those years is great, isn't it?
One of the funny things about, I'll come to it in a bit later about the weddings, but when we were doing the weddings and everything was my name, they always used to say, where's Stan? Isn't Stan lovely and all this? Like, I never even met them
Amazing
yet.
photos, Stan.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah. But she took some pictures. I think, was it Durham Cathedral?
Yeah.
Beautiful picture of Durham Cathedral. Changed at the back, I'm at the front, getting the bride and groom walking in. And the bride and groom said to me, oh, what an amazing picture you've took at the front. I absolutely love that. And I thought, I'm in it.
That's very clever.
That's very good.
Yeah. Because you often get, don't you? And what do you do, Jane?
Yeah, people do think that. But
she takes better pictures than me. These days are in focus.
I'm the jack of all trades, really.
Yeah,
I
no,
do
jack
bits
of all
of
trades.
photos, bits of admin, and Stan's like the creative side. So that's why we sort of gel and work together, really. But,
Is it quite a regular thing that people think you're a married couple?
Yes.
Yeah, very regular.
Yes.
How many times a week?
Every wedding, isn't it?
Yeah, at weddings, people, because I think people just presume that it's a man and wife team. For a while in the wedding industry, people did look to have a man and wife team because it was quite common. So they just presumed, and sometimes it was just like
Easier to let them believe it and just crack on.
Because it's not about us, is it?
No.
It's about them, and so you didn't want to start going into that. But now people know more now because obviously we're in the studio. We chat more about ourselves in the studio.
And then sometimes you just think, just rush, whatever. I can't be bothered. It's like spending another 10 minutes of my life explaining things saying about that.
No,
so,
people do know more now, so it's easier now.
And how is the working relationship? Is it like that of man and wife? Plenty of arguments and plenty of falling outs, disagreements?
No, we don't. Maybe early on we probably disagreed, but I think we
I
probably...
disagree with everything you say.
So it is like a married couple. Yes, Jane.
Yes, all the finances and everything. Yes,
we've worked
I
together.
come to Beckenborough, can I order this off Amazon? Things like that.
The funny thing is he orders things off Amazon and I get the email.
What have you bought now?
Yeah, what's this?
Because he orders it on my email. Well, you think,
Even now, your body language, you've just put your arms crossed and you're getting...
Sorry. But no, I always say, no, it doesn't matter.
What was your working relationship? You two? You hate one another? Or you
This is the first time we've been asked a question. We don't have any answers for that. Sorry, Stan.
No, we'll move on from that.
But it's quite hard being brothers, isn't it, in a business.
Well,
can I just ask you one question?
Yeah.
Is one of you higher up the chain than the other one?
Food chain? Or no. Because I think I would probably win that battle.
He would probably eat me if he could catch me.
Well, you've got a bulging disc in your back. I think I'd
still be able to outrun you.
That's a good scenario. But no, it is, because a lot of brothers don't.
No, we
can't
get
work
on very
together.
well.
Yeah.
we get on
Obviously
very
you do, otherwise you wouldn't be like doing this. I'd be doing an interview with Henry, then 10 minutes later.
Yeah.
But do you have your set roles then? You must
do, but we do overlap a little bit as well, and we say we're only a couple of years apart, and people don't know who's older. Do you know who's older?
I would presume.
I think James is older.
Yeah, they're like a lot older. Look at the state of him.
Right. This is a good time
You've
to
got to
bring
remember,
this
we
out.
did photograph you boys when you were quite young,
So,
didn't we?
That's right.
When you were rugby players, so yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Was this you?
We'll get
Was this your work?
No, that was not my work.
No.
That was.
Look at that on the camera.
Right.
Show Henry that.
Oh my
All I can say about that one is a cute Henry.
Yeah. And then here's
Not
another
so
one.
much, James. We'll get this on the screen for those
Was that
watching
you?
it now.
Yes.
Yes, that was
There
us.
we go.
Yes.
Excellent. I knew you'd done some
Yes,
before.
that was
That was the,
in the rugby
The
shirt.
We'll get this one as well.
good rugby shirt.
Yeah, I was going to
Yes.
say it was rugby shirt.
But anyway, we need to track down who took that photograph and make sure they're never.
They're never
because that is.
Love the jumpers.
goodness, I
Fisherman's
know.
Friends jumpers.
Oh, hang on, we've got another smolder there. Look at that. That was me. We're probably what?
Goodness me.
14 and 12 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Good
a
models
real,
there. Some good models
that's
there.
a really I don't
Didn't
want
we
to
look
be
cute,
here
though?
expression.
What about me?
We should gloss over that one, Jane.
Right. Where are we?
Yeah.
Okay, so we know how you started in photography, Stan.
Yeah.
Obviously, you finance background, came into photography,
Yeah.
joined together.
Yeah.
How long has your business been established?
2006,
2006.
that's when we first started.
that
But we've known
18
each other a few
18
years
years?
before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when we actually opened up a Stan Seaton photography.
Yeah, we opened up, mistake, anybody set up their own business, we opened up as visual photography.
Yeah.
Right, that was the name
We
of the
thought that
company.
was a nice name.
Oh, a cool name, that is visual, like visual photography. But then I had such a good name doing the weddings. People were thinking, oh,
Who's
where's
this
Stan?
visual photography?
Who's visual photography? Didn't have a clue. And say, oh, Stan works here. How long have you been working here? And stuff like that.
Okay.
So it was about 3 years, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then we rebranded as Stan
Rebranded.
Seaton photography,
Yeah.
which was good. Yeah, it was the
It's
right
good
thing.
if it's a good
like
thing
you
if you're going
guys,
to sell
isn't
a
it?
business.
Having your name on
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I always think it's a good thing if you're going to sell it, but
Well, it's like a personal brand. Personal
yeah, it's
brand,
personal,
everything.
like brand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
they want
is.
to see everything
Yeah.
about you and everything they want to meet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stan still gets people come up to him and say, "You photographed my wedding, Stan," and it might be even before we were together.
Oh yes, I get this all the time, and I say, "Oh yes, yeah." And then they look at me, don't they?
Yeah,
And
they want
say,
you to
"You don't
say more."
remember, do you?" I was like, yeah, I do actually.
And it's
You told me it was the best wedding you ever photographed in your life.
We do, but we do remember lots
I know,
of our
and like
weddings.
Jane,
don't we?
Jane, like say something, get to the first names.
All right. What's the most memorable for the wrong reasons?
It's when things go wrong.
Yeah. Come on, share us
Have you ever had-
everything. Come on.
95% of weddings are fantastic. They're just like little like fairy tales.
So we're not interested in 95%.
No,
No,
let's go
you're
to
not
85%.
Right, okay.
But I suppose
The worst
go on.
one we ever did was this couple, and she had 6 bridesmaids, and she was a teacher, and she had 6 bridesmaids that were all her pupils, which I thought was a bit odd, having your pupils as bride. She was French.
Oh yes, I've forgotten this one.
The vicar had told her she mustn't be late because he had another wedding about an hour after theirs. So that was fine. We at St Cuthbert's Church, lovely church, knew we were working towards that. I would go to the hairdressers and take some photos there. I think it was pre-premiere, so just around the corner. Got to the hairdressers, she wasn't finished. She changed her mind about what she wanted, so the hairdresser had to redo it. So we were nearly an hour late leaving the hairdressers. Bearing in mind we didn't have any leeway for getting to church. Got back to the hotel. Oh, it was raining. She was going to walk back to the hotel because she had no car organised. So I took her in the car, got back to the hotel. Bedroom looked as if there was 6 teenagers in the bedroom.
At this point, I'm at church with the vicar who's going off it.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you ever seen a
One
house
bedroom.
vicar? Yes.
1 bedroom, 6 teenagers, all getting ready, left to their own devices. Can you imagine? And I'm supposed to take photos of them all in this bedroom. And I had 2 teenage girls at the time, so it was like being at home. I just had to start clearing everything up, tidying everything up. Got sorted. Then she said, "I don't like my hair." This was after we'd taken so long. "I'm going to wash it." So she washed her hair, dried it herself, didn't get all the product out. It looked scary. Anyway, she tried it. So I took some photos, got sorted. We're now about 3/4 of an hour late. Got to the church. Stan's trying to pacify the vicar at the church.
Yeah.
He had lots of photos of the groom.
Yeah. Then she gets out of the church and actually lifts up her dress like that to me and says, look, and we're still wearing my pyjamas. She still had pyjamas on.
Oh, my
underneath.
goodness.
I love my
And I was
pyjamas, so I
thinking,
thought I'd wear them underneath.
and I was thinking, why have we done this?
Oh, my
So,
At
goodness.
least the groom stayed put and
Yeah, he was like fine and everything. They're not together now, are they?
We don't think they are. They never
I don't think
came
it was a
back for the
short-lived
wedding
wedding.
album.
So, yeah.
We thought at the time they didn't gel. You can tell when you talk to couples.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a bad vibe. Can't say that, can you? But, you know, because we have quite a lot of life experience, you know, as you guys have. And,
2,500 weddings.
yeah, well, I haven't done that many.
I haven't.
When Stan started doing weddings, though, you didn't stay all day like we do now. I mean, we can start at 8 o'clock in the morning and still be there at 9, 10 o'clock at night. So it's a
even
long
later.
day.
Yeah.
But for you, it didn't used to be like that, did it?
No, I used to finish at tea time. Right, let's cut the cake, mock everything
Yeah,
up there.
just pretend
let's
you
get
did
our
a
way.
cake. And it was very formal.
But people want more at weddings now.
Yeah.
So
Any cake disasters?
I've had a cake where they're all getting ready to cut the cake, like 3 tiers or anything.
Yeah.
Well, I did not know this, but you're supposed to put metal posts into the cake.
For
The
structure.
Yeah.
the weight and the top.
The little dowels, aren't they?
Yeah, so they went and put the cake up, and this cake started to go like that, like sink in. The hotel were putting it. The bride and groom were waiting to cut it, and the groom started like laughing. But she started
Sliding
crying
away.
and going off it and everything. She said, oh, the cake's like ruined and all this lot. And I had the hotel like saying, oh, we're really, really sorry. We thought like it was all this.
But it's not really the hotel's fault, is it?
I've had one couple spent £1,600 on a cake.
Yeah.
And
a lot of money in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then forgot
They
to
forgot
cut
to
the
cut
cake.
it. The hotel forgot to bring it out.
Really?
And then somebody
And I
sat
think
with them
they-
on the Sunday morning.
Wow.
Oh,
Where
the
was the
cake's,
cake?
the cake's still in there. Nobody thought about
Because
it.
you guys are married, you know, by the evening, you're over it. You're not thinking of details, are you? So if somebody didn't bring the cake out, your wives might notice, but you guys wouldn't
No,
notice.
I didn't even know.
No, but she didn't. She was so busy enjoying herself with her friends, she hadn't noticed either.
Yeah. And what's the nicest venue that you've been to and had the pleasure of visiting and obviously on
Well, there's some venues, even around here, like Milton Lodge and Rockcliffe, I absolutely adore still
Yeah,
like
they're
going.
good.
You just feel so
We're
at
very
home.
lucky in this
Yeah,
part of the
we've got
world that
that.
we have such lovely
Yeah.
venues.
We've been to the Shangri-La in Hong Kong, haven't we?
Yes, we
Yeah, did
photographed
well.
in
Wow.
the Catholic Cathedral in Hong Kong, which is amazing. The light is to die for. If you're a photographer, the light is to die for.
Yeah.
And then we went back to the Shangri-La and we asked the guy who did the wedding, whose wedding it was, Samuel, worked for HSBC. We said to him, is this the most expensive hotel in Hong Kong? No, I could only afford the second most expensive hotel.
Which was, I must admit, it's absolutely
It was.
gorgeous. Have you guys ever been to Hong Kong?
No?
No.
No, just to the airport. Didn't we?
To the airport, just to the airport.
It's
I flew
about,
in and flew out.
it's about the 30th floor or something. It's quite high up where they have the weddings and you can see all over.
I just say one thing about the Chinese weddings. They are absolutely lovely.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
They form an orderly queue to have the photos like taken.
Yeah.
Right. And the thank you with the hands like going down. And they're saying like, please, will you come do this?
It's
Not
a
like the
different
English
ball
ones.
game.
It's a totally different like ball
You know,
game.
here everybody says, oh, I hate group shots. I don't want any group shots. And then they always have a few.
But the Chinese, they've got they always
disrespectful
like
not to
disrespect if you don't have a photograph with everybody who's been to the bride, so they've got to go around.
Do they have a pre-wedding shoot as well in their wedding dress? Am I right? in
Yes.
thinking
Yes,
that? 'Cause
yes.
it's white's not traditional in their culture, is it? For the wedding day.
Yeah.
No, they do a
We had a
mixture on the
pre-wedding
wedding
shoot
day.
at Durham, that's how we met them, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we took all the pictures. We had to print the album and then take the album
To Hong Kong.
to Hong Kong.
And the
We
guy
had-
got in touch. They'd been to Hong Kong, they'd been to Durham to college, and they were coming back to visit. And he messaged, and his English wasn't brilliant, and it was a bit of a pidgin English email. And I was thinking, is this a scam?
Yes.
This doesn't sound
You send me
right.
money now and I...
And so I replied to him very tentatively. Anyway, they booked us to do this pre-wedding shoot. We had a whole day with them in Durham. They wanted to visit where they'd been to uni, where they'd lived when they were at uni, in the cobbles at Durham Station.
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
they? Yeah, we had a fabulous day with them, actually, because they didn't have a car, so we drove them round to all the spots they wanted to go to. They were just such a lovely couple. And then when
they brought the
at the
kids
end of the
over.
day, they said, will you come and have something to eat with us? So we said, yes, we will. So we went to have something to eat, and she said, if we
paid for you, would you mind coming to Hong Kong?
And we
wow.
said, let's think about this. Yes, we will.
Well, we've done quite a few board weddings, haven't we? South Africa. And
Yeah, but
Safari.
the Hong Kong
I
one,
mean, the
think
weddings
was
have been
amazing.
like good to us. I'm packing them in now, by the way. yeah. There's only 3
Winding
more
down,
to go.
but
It's a very long day. Say when you
It
get
is.
doing
Yeah.
all the getting ready.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
there for the party.
it's emotionally draining as well because
is.
No
you've
doubt.
got you have to be in their lives and their day.
Yeah.
You know, you are from start to finish, aren't
So
you?
many uncontrollables with the weather,
Yeah.
with
Oh,
the
yeah,
light.
especially in this
whereas
country.
You're
Yeah.
doing portraits in your studio. You know it. Everything's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And
So that's what I want to
easier.
concentrate on more now is the kids and everything. Well, you know, I photographed your beautiful children.
You did.
And they were hyper when...
Honestly, it was absolutely incredible because we weren't expecting them to be overly well behaved. Sort of a new environment and quite excitement. But you had hand puppets and you had feather boas and you had all sorts of stuff, completely engaging. So.
Yeah, it just shows you, didn't it? You start in fashion photography, weren't you? Models and like, here's the puppets coming out.
Yeah. Well, I've got some photos actually. I was going to put on Facebook. I haven't put. We photographed a little girl the other day. We photographed before, but she wouldn't do what Stan wanted her to do. So he's sitting on the box where he wants her to be photographed.
Jane, I thought, Jane,
I'm taking the
you're putting these on
photo.
like thingy, yeah.
Because that's what we do. If Stan takes a lot of studios by himself, but if the children need a bit more interaction things, then he puts on his clown persona and
But I'd
and
much
I
rather
can take
do this and
photos.
speaks with some like bridezillas.
But the kids love him.
His little princess.
The kids are his best friend. The other day, this Olivia, after we photographed her before her mum and dad's wedding, and they come back every year, which is lovely to see them and see how Olivia's grown. And she was so excited when she left. When are we going to see my Stan and Jane again? And you think, this is a 2-year-old and we're a best friend. So,
And you've done some. Is it a Halloween special you did with my colleague Emma's?
Oh, yeah.
children? Did you not paint them green or something?
oh, no, it's Christmas.
Christmas.
Grinch.
Oh, Grinch. Okay.
Grinch.
Yes. Emma's little boy, Ronnie, was really, really placid. And he let us paint him green. He was only 2. And I was thinking, I don't know many 2-year-olds that would sit like this.
I know.
He's 6 now, and he certainly wouldn't let us
say
paint him green. He'd tell us he knows
I must
something.
photograph you two or something different.
Should we try and
you wanna
reenact that one I showed before?
Goodness. Get the pull the neck jumpers out.
What would be
idea.
quite good? I could photograph you as 2 hairdressers or like something. Yeah.
Not really good.
Yeah.
Very good idea. Any strange requests? Any,
I've had
from
one
within the studio?
Yeah, I had one for Christmas. I know, I didn't do it. They bought a baby in, and he said, I've seen this shot on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's a baby. Baby was wrapped round in Christmas tree lights. Wrapped all the way around it.
Oh dear.
Right. And I says, no, I'm not doing that and everything.
What, to switch the lights on with the baby?
But he
wrapped
wanted
in
to, yeah.
fairy lights?
So I left them upstairs. So I left them, and then I said, Stan, will you come up? And he dropped the lights. Well, she was there, the mother, wrapped the lights all around the thing, and the father's needed the switch, saying, I'm not doing it. I need to switch it on. So no. I've had like pit bulls in, bought with the baby. And I say, no, I can't do it together. It's not weird for one photograph. It's a photograph. That's it. And you're putting people... I think
And we tried to tell this person that the lights had probably been done in Photoshop. They probably hadn't been switched on. But, that's
exactly.
the trouble, isn't it? Sometimes a
just
photo's
like
not
things like
always
that.
what it seems,
Well,
is it?
with Photoshop and artificial intelligence, it's pretty scary what
It
can
is what
actually
you
be
can
done
do
now
now.
without
Yes.
physically having to go to the studio. What have you? Obviously, the world of photography would have changed throughout your career. How do you see it changing in the next 10, 15, 20 years moving forward?
It'll have to get better. It really will, because it's so easy now to take a picture on a mobile phone, instant. When I look at pictures on Instagram these days, there's no composition. People are just like rattling stuff off, as in like bang, bang, like get together, click, click, click. There's no light. When I look back at the pictures in the 60s, people had to compose everything. And I'm on about professional photography now. I'm not on about people like the the snaps, family snaps.
Yeah.
They had to compose everything. You can see, I think, we only had like one go on, like a film camera, where you had to like compose.
Was that when
it,
you had a
look for-
tripod and you had that thing over your head and one bulb?
Stan doesn't go quite that
Quite that. One funny thing is, I've got a 1920s camera back at the studio, and the horrible thing is, I know how to use it. Just can't get the film for it these days. But yeah, you had to still like look down the camera. That's how I started, looking through that. But everything's like in mirror fashion, so you were like looking at a mirror. So you look down, you'd be sat there, and you'd be sat there, James.
The worrying.
And you'd have to say like, go over to your left. Stop saying go the wrong way. Say no, don't you know your left and your right? Things like
I think
that.
the worrying thing is people don't print enough. Do you guys print the stuff that you have on your phones? I know you take good photos, especially
No.
Not particularly.
Seb takes my pictures now, so I can't claim anything.
But you still get the
Yes,
credit
that's
for it. Because you
Well,
always
that's
say,
why I'm saying
look
it
at
out
this,
loud.
Look at this gorgeous video Henry's done.
the Seb and Henry thing.
Exactly right. Yeah. Seb's the one that's making me look good. So.
Yeah.
With our first child, Freddie, we obviously had loads and loads of photographs on our phones. So we printed out little photo books.
Yeah.
And we probably had like one for every 3 months in his first 2 years. Got none of the other two kids at all. None at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
It's a shame.
My girl's favourite thing is looking at old photographs of themselves, and I think how much pleasure they get out of that.
Yeah.
So it makes me think how important it is that people still do it. You
Yeah.
know, and we are you are the generation of lost photos, really, unless you
When
get stuff printed.
when we were doing weddings, we used to get a lot of couples bringing the old like mums and dads or the grandmas wedding albums to the wedding, and then put them on like a table with all the photos, and people would look through and
just
say,
so
"Oh, look at like
lovely.
such and such." A bit like you two there. Look at that gorgeous picture of those two little cute boys.
Your kids look like looking at
well,
those
what cute boy and
Do you
James.
know what? My mum sent that over last night and she said, "Doesn't Henry look cute?" You've said exactly the same.
Poor James.
Oh dear me. So you say you're winding down the
I'm
wedding.
winding down the weddings. I'm just going to concentrate on
Where's
the
going to be your
kids.
last wedding? How are you going to celebrate?
There'll never be your last wedding, will there? There'll always
There'll
be
always
somebody
be
who'll
another
come
one,
out and
won't
say,
there?
yeah,
There'll
be a
always
fantastic
be
Repeat
a
business
friend
will
or-
always.
yeah.
I say repeat business. Shouldn't
Yeah.
really get repeat business in weddings too
no.
much.
No.
We were
All being
talking
well.
to some ex-wedding clients, but actually, again, they've been back with, so that we really class them as friends, and they were saying, "Oh, we've recommended you to a friend." Well, we might just do that.
Yeah,
one,
you
you
would,
know?
yeah.
So I think, we'll never say no, but as far as the booking clients.
If you were to be giving advice to someone setting up now, knowing what you know about the industry, what would you say?
I would say...
Is this photography in the studio or wedding photography?
Probably weddings, I would say. But maybe a bit of both.
I would say just like look at and listen to what people want. I had a bride in, when she wasn't one of our brides, she brought the kids in, and she had this beautiful, she said, because she said, she said to me, you couldn't do that our wedding, you were booked. But we got like somebody else to do it. And she said, I had this most amazing dress, all beadwork on it and everything. And she said, I was really disappointed with her photos, because she said she did them like very like bright and like airy. She said the photography was lovely, but there was no detail in the dress. She said, all I got is like a shape of white. Okay. So I'd just say, if you are going to start out, study your craft and find out what the couple want. Because she said, I said to the photographer, I want all this like detail like shown. So it's just...
I think the difficulty is people say they want very natural stuff, and so they think that natural means you just turn up with a camera and you just shoot what you see. And unfortunately, that's really not what a good reportage wedding photographer does. He's very, very... he knows exactly what he wants and what he's going to do and what he's looking for. There will be moments that just happen, and if you'll try and be there and get them, and that'll be great. Mm-hmm. But you've got to know what the couple want, what the mother wants, because that's quite important. You know what your mums would, they'd have had requirements at your wedding. Yep. We had a client the other day, we didn't do her son's wedding, and she's wanting some photos for the wall, and she hasn't got a picture of her son on his own at his own wedding. And we were like, Stan would go with a list of what he was going to do on the morning. I would have a list with what I was going to do with the bride. It might be an informal shot, but I would make sure I'd got the shot of the bride and the mum, whether it was formal or informal. It's got to be there. That's important. We've had some sad occasions where mums have died shortly after, and if you haven't got that shot, that's terrible, isn't it? We would lose sleep over that if we hadn't got that shot. So you're dealing with somebody's most important day of their lives, or one of the most important. Make sure that you get it right.
Really get a good brief and make sure you...
Very much. And don't just go and think that... And that's another thing, a lot of wedding photographers go into it and that they're just shooting for themselves, to put on their website, and that's not what you're being paid for. If you get a nice wedding to put on your website, great, that's a byproduct. But really, you're there for the couple. Do what the couple
I
wants.
remember I was talking to a photographer in London. He's quite a very high-end. He charges £15,000 for a wedding.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, nice.
And we were on about his wedding and everything. And he said, one of the first things I wanted my groups. I want a picture with my grandmother and all this lot. And he said, I want them all like nice. And I looked at some of his stuff, and it's all beautiful. Everything's artistic, but there's no group shots whatsoever. So it was quite strange when he said, these are the ones I want. Because he said, I probably will want an artistic one, but I'll just stick it just on Facebook or YouTube and everything like that. Because he said, my mum wants all these pictures as well. And I was thinking, this doesn't sound like...
But further down the line, it's the group shots that you would be pulling up on your phone.
Yeah.
You know. And also, the other nice thing is that often you find, I think it's a nice thing, when Granny dies, sometimes it's a picture that's been taken in the speeches at the wedding of her laughing at her grandson speaking, that they use on Facebook or on their order of service. And you think, we took that picture.
Yeah.
You know, we've given them that. Yeah, and that's a lovely thing for us. I know it's a very sad occasion, but it is nice for us that we've ticked somebody's box somewhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, and you'll never believe that it's actually been, coming up to 40 minutes.
Really?
I told you it would go fast.
What? Edit it down to 3.
So we're at 36 minutes, so we're going to have to call it a day.
Fabulous, Are people still awake?
I'm sure there will be. Yeah, thank you very much indeed for coming on.
No, it's been absolutely
how can people find you? Digitally and physically?
We're Stan Seaton Photography on Facebook and on Instagram and our website, and we're just at Duke Street, just a little bit up from Carver's, next to Staple Hearth Pizzeria. If you want to pop in and say hello, we'd love to have a chat with you.
And can I just say, I do lovely newborn photos. I must have photographed over 1,000 babies.
Just not with any lights around.
Yes, no lights, no dogs in there, please, and everything, but everything's like nice. So if you want anything like that.
We're really enjoying meeting everybody.
So if you want weddings, phone someone else. But if you've got family pictures, babies, 2-year-olds who love stickers and stuff,
Perfect. Brill, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Take care.